Well, good day, folks. Back for another episode of The Secret Solved. This is a series where I look at the different puzzles in The Secret by Byron Price and come up with what I think is going on in the images and the text information in the book. Today's episode is about the team spirits, otherwise known as the Rosa Petrus, also known as the Canis Calidus, which means the clever dogs. So the team spirits are the clever dogs, if you will. And just for reference, I'm on page 88 and page 89 in the book The Secret. So starting out, I would just say that if this is not the confirmation location for Boston, I don't really know what it is because it says in the range the team spirits are harder to see than a dab of hair oil on a baseball traveling at 95 miles an hour between a pitcher's hand and a catcher's glove. Well, we now know that the Boston one was found at a ball diamond. That's right, it was found at a ball diamond. And so, what other cues are in here? Well, in the paragraph it says black stuff beneath their eyes. Well, the black stuff beneath the eyes, the first reference of a baseball player utilizing a dark pitch subject or substance in order to keep glare out of their eyes was none other than Babe Ruth, folks. That's right, Babe Ruth. Now, we all know the Boston connection to Babe Ruth, right? And what other information is here? Oh, well, there's that reference to the bean that's in the verse here as well. Now, let's just look at some other things. It says, team spirits inspire basketball players to take swan dives into the parquet. Well, as far as I know, there's only a few places that have a parquet floor, and one of them was the Boston Garden. I suppose Madison Square Garden also had a parquet floor, but that's good too because if you like the New York idea and you like Madison Square Garden, this gives you some additional clues to possibly the Boston Garden, Madison Square Garden, etc. Um, um, so what else? So we've got the Boston reference there as well. Now the crossbar that binds. So in one of the puzzles, this talks about a crossbar. Well, this might. I don't know if we're now needing to look for a crossbar at a football field, but I'm not going to put it past the authors to do that. Well, the only really good mention here of a player that we can look up and find information about are the two people mentioned, Ty Cobb. So Ty Cobb is basically an interesting figure. Ty Cobb's baseball career is pretty well known. He still holds some records from his time. Widely thought as one of the greatest baseball players ever. He was known as the Georgia Peach. Um, uh, there's he was born in the Narrows, Georgia, and he he finished. So he basically spent 22 seasons with the Detroit Tigers. Now I've had some other information point me to Detroit as a possible solve location, and if we're going to specifically put Ty Cobb in one of the back of the book stories, and he spent 22 seasons in Detroit, um, and he was a player manager of that team, and then he also played for the Philadelphia Athletics. So there's some more references to Detroit and references to Philadelphia that based upon having Ty Cobb mentioned here. But the reference might be the fact that he was born in Narrows, Georgia, and we need to look at the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. I don't know. I always try to draw out conclusions that aren't actually there. Um, and so he had some challenges with people thinking he was racist. He began a relationship with the Coca-Cola company the last of the remainder of his life when he was very young in 1907. And he became an owner of bottling plants in Santa Maria, California, Twin Falls, Idaho, and Bend, Oregon. And so there's his investments. Uh, uh, so there's some investments that he had in that. He had a scandal over a Chalmers automobile that was going to be given to him, and uh, the um, Cobb also uh, had a number of investments, and he's a player manager, uh, and then he moved to Philadelphia. Okay, so that gives you Ty Cobb. He ended up moving south of San Francisco, California, on the San Francisco Peninsula in 1930, and sought out his retirement there. And so you have a little bit of a connection to that San Francisco area if you like that part of his story. Now, the other baseball player mentioned here is West Coast managers. They do not associate it with nice guys who finish you know where. Well, that's actually a famous quote. Nice guys finish last, and it's a quote that was originated by a guy by the name of Leo DeRocher. Well, if you accept the fact that the image that you need to use to solve the Boston puzzle is the one with the Leo lion in the background that then leads you to the ball diamond, right? You're getting additional information from the team spirits as to what puzzle image goes with what item. And we're talking about baseball, we're talking about home plate. You've got an image with a home plate in it, and now you've got a story that talks about an actual baseball manager by the name and player by the name of Leo DeRocher. That gets you to the Leo DeRocher uh, guy here. So anyway, so DeRocher was basically he's born in West Springfield, Massachusetts. His parents are Canadian, and his parents were immigrants from Quebec. So if you like that reference to Quebec and connections to Quebec that could be in the back of the book, you've got Leo Ernest DeRocher, actually Leo the Lip, or Lippy. These were his nicknames. And again, we're talking about the Boston image. We're talking about Leo the Lion being in the background of that image where there's a home plate, where there's a baseball. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort to figure out what's going on here. So he played with the New York Yankees, Cincinnati Reds, St. Louis Cardinals, and the Brooklyn Dodgers through 1945. He was the manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, the New York Giants, the Chicago Cubs, and Houston Astros, and a Japanese baseball club, but he, I guess, didn't actually spend much time at that. So there's the connections for Leo DeRocher. Leo DeRocher famously did an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies where they wanted to have old Max Baer, which was Jethro, get drafted to play baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so I'm pretty sure that Leo DeRocher is who they're talking about in the Spotter's Guide as being the West Coast manager that says that, the guys finished last. Now, I'm going to add to this another connection, and that's the Celeron Acme Colored Giants, which is the colored, all the players in this picture are black. And this is a colored giant, if you will. And so I think that there's also a reference to the village of Chautauqua Lake, adjacent to Jamestown, where you have the Celeron Acme Colored Giants of the Iron and Oil League in 1898. And so this is one of the first professional baseball teams, all black baseball teams. And I think that there is a important connection to be made to the fact that we're taught that we need to bring in the New York Acme Giants into this. And so that gives you my assessment of the team spirits and how you can look at how the team spirits can show you Boston. They can show you New York, Leo DeRocher, Leo the Lion. I mean, it's all about Boston. Boston was found at home plate. Babe Ruth was the first one to wear a black eye masking shadow. Boston connection. It's blatantly obvious that they're telling you exactly that what the image solve locations and how they tie to the back of the book and the different cities in each of these stories. All right, folks, I'll be back after a bit and take on another topic. Next up in the book, I believe, is The Stylist Devil. And I'll see what I can find out about the Stylist Devil